YouTube, what is going on? Back with my latest video, back in the installment of Speculation Saturday. So I have a cool one for you guys today. I have 3 pops and suggest, 2 that are upcoming shows, and 1 that I think is an undercover sleeper that I think you should add to your collection. So let's get right into it and see my thoughts. Here we go.
Listen, been in the game for a minute, clocking in because it's time to get down to business. Stunting is a habit, on me I'm good at it. Asking around town, I'm known as the Popsavage.
Alright guys, before we get into this video, please smash that like button down below. Let me know you guys are enjoying these videos, and as always, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Hit subscribe button down below as well so you updates on most recent content, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted as soon as I post a new video. So if it's your first time tuning this segment, what I like to try to do every Saturday is talk about the financial side of Funko Pops, whether it's topics I find interesting that I think you guys should know about, or pops I think are going to go up in value, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before we get into that, I just want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Whatnot. I partnered up with them, and definitely a really good platform that I think you guys should check out. Like I said in the past, it's something that I've used, especially for things for higher end pops, because they do authenticate the stuff that you buy on there. They have all different types of collectibles, so definitely a one-stop shop for all things like that. Definitely check them out. There's a link in the description box below, so you're able to get $10 off your next order. So if that's something you're interested in, buying pops or any other collectibles with confidence, definitely check out Whatnot. And let's get right into my top 3 picks for today's video. Alright guys, so like I said, I have 3 pops I think are going to be future grails. For this time, I actually don't have any of them. One of them I thought I had, but I was reminded that I gave it away, so shout out to that lucky person. Hopefully you're enjoying the pop, and we'll talk about that one first. So this is a spin-off show that's coming out for this regular show. We have Daria. So Daria was a show back in the 90s. It wasn't really a show I watched too much, and that's pretty much why I gave it away, is I liked the pop. I remember the show. I didn't really watch it so much, but it was a New York City Comic-Con pop, I believe, from 2 years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's what I remember. And Daria is getting a spin-off show for her friend Jody. Jody's going to be voiced by Tracy Ellis Ross, who's also the executive producer for the platform, so I definitely think it's going to have a lot of attention onto it. Everything she seems to be involved with now gets a lot of attention, so definitely a show that I think is going to renew interest in Daria. I'm not sure if Daria is going to appear in it or not, but it's definitely going to get people who were familiar with it back interested, and new audience also interested in it as well. Daria on the Funko app right now is going for about $50. That may be a little bit different than what you will find on the open marketplace, but it's a pop that's a little bit more expensive. I know you guys have asked me for more expensive pops I think have an upside, and this is definitely one I think has it because of the renewed interest for it, and also it's just a pop that it's one of those ones that you buy it because you like it. People that are fans of the show are pretty much the ones having it. No one's going around flipping Daria pops, which means this is a pop for potential for long-term growth. Maybe slow and steady, but still, I think it's only going to go higher. It's not going to really have a reason to go down at all. So I could definitely see this pop doubling in value, being a $75 to $100 pop, sometime next year when the show is released and more people are brought to the attention. If Daria is in the show and they do make another pop for this one, I still think this one being a con exclusive is still going to have the premium attached to it, so I think that only would help it more than hurt it. I don't know if Funko's actually going to even make a different one for this, because I don't know if Daria sold too well. I remember when it dropped, it did go on clearance and such, but now it's definitely come back and been a pretty popular pop as terms of value as well. So definitely a pop I'll keep your eye out for. If you want to get the more premium product, obviously going for the con exclusive sticker, it's going to have long-term more value for collectibles sake, as far as it's being rarer, but definitely having the shared sticker is not a bad thing either. But definitely a pop I think should get into your collection. When the new show hits, I definitely think this has potential to go up even further. So before we get in the second pick, I know I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys recently via Instagram, via YouTube comments. I was thinking about maybe doing a members only live stream maybe once a month, so I'm able to effectively answer all your questions. I'm a pretty busy guy. I really am involved in a lot of things outside of YouTube, so I don't really get around to a lot of your questions. I thought maybe this would be a way to answer your questions a little bit more effectively. I can get to each and every single one and kind of give you my reasons. So that's something you guys would be interested. Drop in the comment section below. I can definitely make that happen. But the second pops I want to suggest for you is actually a 2-for-1, and it's Beavis and Butt-Head. So these are also expensive pops I think have potential to go up in value. Same thing as Daria, they were getting a reboot. I think reboots are a very popular thing as far as value for Funko. I've talked about reboots in the past, and the reason why is because pops that are already out for nostalgic purposes, for like 90s and 80s stuff, are going up because the people who are buying them now are pushing that value higher. I've talked about this same concept on last week's episode with the Disney stuff. Introducing Beavis and Butt-Head to a new audience, people who are teenagers now, who don't really know much about Beavis and Butt-Head, will see why we enjoyed it back in the day, and when they are a little bit older, and if Funko Pops are still around, it's going to increase the value even more. I definitely think these are two pops that are, you know, already grails, but can be potential to be even higher, you know, further down the line. I don't see them remaking them, and even if they do, these ones have been vaulted for so long, they're going to be the rarer ones. Definitely things I think you should add to your collection. I don't really remember the value off the top of my head, but last time I checked, they were around $200, so they're pretty expensive, but they're pops that we know that are grails at even more, you know, $400, $500, and I think I can definitely see Beavis and Butt-Head being those kind of pops in the future. With the new reboot, definitely a time to buy now before it hits, and if that's a pop you're looking to add to your collection, now is definitely a time to get into your collection before it's even more out of reach. So I just looked to make sure. Beavis is going for $270, and Butthead's going for about $220. With pops that are that high in value, you can a lot of times get deals. I know that from buying stuff like the Funko Pop portfolio that I did. Once you get to a certain amount of money, there's a little bit more wiggle room with people, so even at the $270 price point, you might be able to get it for a best offer on Mercari or eBay for a cheaper price. Getting closer down to that $200 price point is kind of where you want to be at, and hope that that pop goes to $350, $400 in the future, which I think it definitely has potential to do so. So the last pop I want to talk about is one that's a little bit outside the box. I don't talk about this category as much as I think I should, because it's very much an underrated category. And I was watching the MLB Hall of Fame ceremony or announcement, I guess to say, earlier this week, and kind of got me to start thinking about baseball. Now, I'm only a casual baseball fan. I'm not as into baseball as I was back in the 90s, but I still know who the good players are. I definitely know who the Hall of Famers are out there, and I think this is one that you want to pick up, and that's Max Scherzer. So there's two different ones for him. It's in his home and away jersey for the Washington Nationals. The reason why I'm suggesting this one is Max Scherzer is a surefire Hall of Famer for the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's a 3-time Cy Young winner, I believe, and there's only one other person who has that kind of resume that's not in the Hall of Fame, and that's Roger Clemens, which there's a reason why for the steroid era that he's not in there, but everyone else who has that kind of credentials is a Hall of Famer or will be a Hall of Famer one day. The reason why I'm suggesting Max Scherzer as opposed to any of the other ones, there's obviously more of the Hall of Fame caliber MLB players that are in the Funko Pop form, but for Max, you know, there's only 2 pops for him. There are still available, but they might as well be vaulted because it's an old team. Max doesn't play for the Nationals anymore. He did play for the Dodgers, won a championship, and now he's on the New York Mets. So I don't see them making any more of these Washington Nationals ones. And this pop is unique in the sense that it's the only pop I know, or I can think of off the top of my head, that has 2 different color eyes. If you're not familiar with Max, he has I think it's a brown eye and then a blue eye. So he has 2 different color eyes, which is, you know, definitely a unique feature, and they definitely captured it pretty well on Funko Pop. So this pop is extremely affordable as well. I think it's like $14, $15. So it's a surefire Hall of Famer. It's a pop that is, it says available, but it's definitely vaulted. There's no reason for them to make any more of him in his national colors. If his second team, the Dodgers, where he won a championship with, is most likely the team that a collector for his stuff, or, you know, a baseball collector in general, is going to want stuff where he performed the best. I don't see him winning the championship with the Mets, and I don't see Funko going back and making a stuff with him for the Dodgers. So his most memorable years are going to be him in his national uniform. So I've talked about in the past, if sports collectors get into Funko Pops, I definitely think there is a crossover because there's a lot of people that are into sports bobbleheads, and Funko Pops kind of fit into that category as well. So I think this one has a lot of long-term potential, especially him making the Hall of Fame. This pop is going to be less and less available because it's not being produced currently, and in general, it's just a unique looking pop. It's one of the few people pops I know that is, you know, has 2 different eye colors. I think maybe the only one. So definitely a unique pop, a lot of potential moving forward. It's one I'm going to be picking up because I think it's just a cool one, and it's a good long-term pickup, and there's a limited to no downside for this one. So that is all I have for you guys today, those 3 pops. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about those. Let me know if you guys would like to see that members only video as far as a live stream, so I can kind of address your questions more efficiently. And definitely check out Whatnot if you're interested in getting 10 free dollars off your next order. So thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe if you're new. Check me out my second channel at Savage Breaks, where I do Pokemon and sport cards. And also check me out on my Instagram at ThePopSavage. You can stay connected there too. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.